I'd like to welcome all you early birds to our meeting tonight. Glad you're here. We do start at 7:30, so we usually try to be right on time. So, okay.
blood pressure meds before the. I got put on blood pressure meds last week, and I'm like, oh, good timing. I've been Indy all week. Been in Indy all week for training for Win, so that's been good. I warned the company president, "You're sending me to the land of St. Elmo's with a P card." He's like, "Go ahead." Martina? All right, yourself?
Okay, we'll call our meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Welcome, everyone, to our council meeting tonight. Appreciate everyone coming out. We have a roll call, please.
Farmer?
Here.
Henning?
Here.
Gorman? Merkel?
Here.
Kelly? Here. Bachman?
Here.
And Stevens.
Here. And tonight, we start off our meeting. We have actually two special presentations. So the first one, if we could have Mr. Joe Bachman step up to the podium, and I'd like to present him a proclamation from our city. Well, you can come up. Of all the jobs of being a mayor, this is one that's really, okay, nice. This is one job that is really satisfying for me. I'm really proud when we get to do this type of proclamation for people, and I don't think we've ever had or possibly ever will have another one like this. Because, well, I'm just going to read it. Today we honor Joseph Bachman on the occasion of his 50th anniversary of outstanding and faithful service to Randolph Township and the city of Clayton. Mr. Bachman began his distinguished career in public service on August 19, 1975, as a volunteer firefighter for Randolph Township, demonstrating courage and commitment to the safety and well-being of others. In addition to his role as a firefighter, Mr. Bachman also served as a dispatcher for Randolph Township, further exemplifying his dedication and versatility in serving the community. Mr. Bachman continues his legacy of service with the city of Clayton as the caretaker of the Janice Ward Community Center, where, where his work supports community engagement and the preservation of a public space. Joe Bachman's steadfast dedication, tireless work ethic, and unwavering love for his community are truly exceptional and worthy of recognition. Therefore, I, Mike Stevens, Mayor of the City of Clayton, Ohio, along with the elected and appointed officials of the City of Clayton, do hereby extend our heartfelt gratitude and commendation to Mr. Bachman for 50 remarkable years of service and commitment to our community. Oh, he can come in. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I mean, that's really remarkable. 50 years, so thank you. You must have started when you were 2. 2.5. Yeah. Okay, that is remarkable. And we also have, as our second special presentation, we have our introduction of new employees.
Cassie, if you want to come on up. So you all may have already seen, and Cassie, she actually started as our event manager in June of this year, and I have to say that she has hit the ground running, doing amazing things right as golf season was picking up, right as the snack bar was, and she just stepped in and really hit the ground running. Cassie comes to us with lots of experience in events, so her vision is an absolute asset to the city to have. So I'm very fortunate that we have her here on staff. I will let you say anything if you would like, or you can just say, nope, I will see you at Meadowbrook.
Thank you, Elaine, for the kind words. I have enjoyed working with Meadowbrook, and I look forward to my future there. Thank you. I will see you there.
Thank you. Welcome to our team. Okay, and we have also 2 police officers.
I just want to stand right here. I'll introduce you. Dan Bishop, born and raised locally in the area. He's been married now for 7 years and continues to live locally. His spare time, he enjoys relaxing at home with his wife and dog, riding motorcycles, and traveling as much as he can. He's a graduate of Northmont High School in 2000, went to college, started his career in law enforcement in 2006 after receiving his degree in political science from Wright State University. Before Wright State, he did attend University of Cincinnati for 2 years, go Bearcats. He then enrolled in Sinclair's Police Academy in 2005. Over the last 19 years, he's served the city of Clayton, village of Gratis, and the village of Lewisburg. He's glad to be back in the city and will proudly serve its citizens for the remainder of his career. And Officer Dorothy Stringer is a dedicated police officer, proud to be serving Clayton. She was raised in Union, Ohio, went to Northmont schools as well. She received her peace officer training at Edison State Community College in 2019. Her training class was the first ever documented as the most females in one class to ever graduate Edison State Peace Officer Training Academy. In 5 years of experience in law enforcement, she's previously worked for the village of Lewisburg, West Alexandria Police Department, and recently joined the Clayton Police Department on July 3rd, 2025. She hopes to focus on community relations, mental health, and drug interdiction, which she does a very good job on. In her off time, she likes to spend time with her sister, her family, going to concerts, swimming, putting together puzzles, and she's extremely honored to be part of the team here at the Clayton Police Department, serving its citizens and community.
Okay, we're going to do, well, I'm going to have you come right out here.
Mayor, do you want to read both at the same time?
You can come up if you. Okay, and both of these officers will be taking their oath of office tonight. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dan Bishop. Do solemnly swear that I will enforce and obey all laws. Support and protect the Constitution of the United States.
Support and protect the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
And the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
And I will faithfully discharge.
And I will faithfully discharge.
The duties of police officer.
The duties of police officer.
In the city of Clayton.
In the city of Clayton.
Montgomery County.
Montgomery County.
State of Ohio.
State of Ohio.
Anybody here you want to come up? Thanks everyone for coming. Big day.
Excited.
Yeah. Big day for us. Okay. Do you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Dorothy Stringer.
I, Dorothy Matthew Stringer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will enforce
that I will enforce
and obey all laws,
and obey all laws,
support and protect the Constitution of the United States,
support and protect the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
in the city of Clayton,
in the city of Clayton,
Montgomery County,
Montgomery County,
state of Ohio,
and the state of Ohio
during my continuance in office.
during my continuance in office.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Thank you. Congratulations.
Hey, Joe, can you ask your grandson if we can have some of his energy for up here? Now, what's the most part doing that?
Okay, we're moving on with our agenda, and the next item is the clerk's report.
I'll move for approval. Second.
Made it easy on you, Barb. The the motion has been made to accept the report as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that is unanimous. I am going to deviate just for a minute from our agenda. I'm going to ask Earl to come up. I think Earl had an announcement on our, is he here? Announcement on our Labor Day fireworks. He can't stay for the meeting, so I felt it was appropriate to let him come up and speak.
Once again, I'm proud to announce that Clayton is going to have the fireworks back. It's August the 31st, starting at 7 o'clock. 9 o'clock, the fireworks are going at 9 o'clock. Kroger has donated 700 hot dogs, which our parks people will end up cooking, getting ready. We got water coming, snow cones, cotton candy, popcorn, things for kids to wear around their arms and stuff so you can see them running around even when it gets dark. It's just going to be a great affair. I'm just tickled to death to announce that that's where it's at. It's at the Meadowbrook Golf Course. Again, it starts at 7. We have a couple of jumpy houses for kids to play. We contacted the city schools and couldn't get anybody to do the thing on top of the trailer, so we hired Willie from Kroger to spin records, and we might even teach you guys how to line dance a little bit in front. So we're going to have a real good time. I mean, we're really going to have a good time. So that's basically everything I got. We had the movie in the park turned out to be very good. Nice night, beautiful night. It wasn't real cold. It was just right. Didn't have any kids playing in the sandbox, but we did have them looking for golf balls. And if you guys are golfers, man, they picked up about 20 of them. So you could have bought them for 5 cents a piece. You lost out. So, but anyhow, it was a great time. Elaine did a wonderful job of getting it all together for us, and takes a lot of time to do all this good stuff. But I have seven very wonderful people working on the parks with me. I got my best cooker is going to be cooking your hot dogs for you, and then I need volunteers to wrap them. I got some aluminum foil I donate every year, and we're going to wrap them up and put them in the warmers, and we're ready to go. And when they're out, they're out. So please come and see us. Please come and enjoy the fireworks, the beautiful fireworks. It's better in Inglewood. So if anybody's from Inglewood, yep, they're better, much better. So please come and have fun. And yep, that's everything on the paper. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We love our friends in Inglewood, though. Thank you, sir. So the next item on our agenda is visitors' comments, and as we always do, I'm going to read off every name that signed in. If you said no and you want to speak, come up. If you said yes and don't want to speak, just say so. And if you don't want to come up, then you just decline and we'll move on. So, okay, the first sign-in was Colin Neef. Nope. Thank you, sir. David Neef? No, thank you. Thank you. Todd Burkett? No. Thank you. Linda Bloom? Linda? Billy or Cassandra? No. Anderson? No for both. Steve Wolf? No. Rose Plummer? Joe Plummer? No. Joe Sider? No. Bill Sider? I knew I could count on you.
She'll have a comment. Bill Sider, 5902 Mount Royal Drive. And let's see, I know there's a proposal out there which is great. We have one concern remaining, and that's our backyard runs into the back of the very end of the cul-de-sac. And without a house at the end of the cul-de-sac, there's only side yards that keep people from coming through our yard. And my wife sent you some pictures of how open the space is at the end of our yard. And all we ask is that we can work with the developer to maybe put some sort of natural barrier in there, perhaps plant some trees, something like that. And if you want me to address each of the photos, I can. But we took photos from our backyard and then looking from the proposed development into our yard, and then one from the side. I think our yard is different from the neighbors in that we cleared all the honeysuckles, so we don't have any kind of vegetation to deter people from entering our property or from going from our property to the new resident's property at will. And with it being at the end of a road, it makes for easy egress into the properties going either way. And that's all I have to add.
Thank you, sir. Joyce or Joe? Oh. I knew you would.
Joe Sider, 5902 Mount Royal Drive. I just want to address the issue of the proposal tonight for the easement, and basically that we're not to touch it and the other neighbors are not to touch it. So basically, that open space is going to be there indefinitely because, none of us could remove anything or put anything there. So that makes it even more important that we could get some natural barrier there, because it'd be years before seedlings will become a tree. So that's all I had.
Thank you. Joyce and Joe Bachman, I think they might have left. Debbie Koch? No? Leanne Bustos? Maurice Bustos? Mr. or Mrs. Babcock? No? I think I'm reading that right. Jennifer Pernog? Is that right? Pernhagen, oh, I'm sorry. Kevin Gifford? Heather Bailey? Zach Gibbs? Sam Cox? Christy Cox? Paulette Farmer? Mr. Ernst?
Patrick Ernst, 455 North Main Street, Englewood, zip code, Clayton resident. It's unimaginable to me that here I stand up here for the 5th time to voice concerns about the provisions of that ordinance number 001-25-02. I will not go into the details in regard to my opposition to this proposed development, but I do want to express my frustration with the members of this council. More than 1,000 signatures were collected for the referendum, and in one action, this council is attempting to silence its electorate, again, by removing the ability of Clayton residents to decide what's best for our community. Since the council operates with little regard for transparency, a reasonable person can only conclude that council members that are seeking re-election are simply afraid to have their names on the same ballot as the referendum that they have attempted to block for months. Think of the time, money, and other resources that have been wasted, not just by the petitioners committee, but also the developer, due to the actions of this council. I find it unconscionable that only one council member has been 100% consistent on their voting record on this matter. The amount of flip-flopping indicates that this council has absolutely no idea what it is doing when it comes to this project. I find myself being embarrassed for this council, as it seems that collectively it lacks self-awareness. My last point is directed at one member of this council whose term expires in December of this year. Although taking an oath of office to work for the citizens that are represented at large, this council member made the conscious decision to use social media to publicly call out several private citizens regarding voting records, comments made at public meetings, and other information meant to bully, shame, or humiliate. These actions are very disturbing and should be denounced by the mayor and other members of this council. It is clearly time for the so-called leadership in Clayton, and I pray that in January 2026 there will be a significant turnover of this council. Clayton cannot afford any more disasters caused by the lack of direction demonstrated in the past several years. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. For the record, I do denounce any bullying on any social media. I don't know who you're talking about. I hope it's not me, because I don't do that. And if it is me, then I would challenge you or anyone to show me that. So I agree with you 100%. We should not be airing dirty laundry on social media. It's a fantasy world. I think all of us know that. And again, you know, it's been a big issue, not only with us, it's an issue everywhere, but I'm very disappointed in that in myself. So for one thing we agree on, there it is. Okay, moving on, Ms. Bretman, did I say it right? Yeah.
Well, the order was perfect because I don't have a whole lot more to add. to what, I'm sorry, Deborah Retman, 201 Hilltop Drive, Dayton, but Clayton. We signed a petition. We have a right to our voice. I'm not sure how these few people have the right to take away our voice, our constitutional right to make a decision about our city. I've lived here for almost 40 years, and I think I have a right, and people worked hard to get that together, to get it on the ballot, and then just for a few people to make a decision to take it off the ballot is unconstitutional. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dana York, speak. Doug Bias.
Doug Bias, 10857 Haber Road. I just wanted to talk tonight. I've spoken to you all about TIFs before, and that's what I want to bring up again. But I've kind of spoken about it before, so I won't waste a lot of time kind of going into explanation of it. I know there's a TIF on the agenda tonight that's being considered. And again, as I've stated previously, I don't know that we should be doing this for residential developments. I personally am all for it for businesses, commercial development, but I really don't think we should be doing it for residential development. I don't think there's a need personally for it. You know, TIFs historically have been used for blighted areas, you know, very low socioeconomic areas, rundown areas. I certainly don't consider, you know, beautiful Clayton to be that. You know, and we've had no, you know, shortage of developers flocking to this area. I mean, we're just getting inundated, one developer after another trying to compete with each other, trying to gobble up land around here. So I don't think there's any lack of desire for our area here. Especially, you know, as we've spoken about before, you know, there are businesses coming in, the DMEX plant in Brookville, warehouses around the airport and so forth. So again, I don't think they're necessary. But, you know, again, I'll just bring up the 4 negative effects that TIFs can have. And the first one being, again, distortion of market incentives. So they can distort market dynamics by favoring certain developments over others, potentially leading to inefficient allocation of resources and overlooking genuine community needs. The second one is risk of fiscal impact. There's a risk that TIF projects may not generate anticipated tax revenues, leaving municipalities with budget shortfalls and potentially diverting funds from essential public services. When property tax increments are used to repay TIF debts, revenues that would otherwise fund schools, emergency services, and public infrastructure are redirected. Let's be honest, this is a subsidy to the developers. This diversion can leave communities struggling to maintain basic services, disproportionately affecting lower-income populations who rely heavily on public resources. TIFs can create fiscal challenges over the long term, especially if the projected economic benefits of a development project do not materialize as expected. Did the village of North Clayton, where Esther Price is, that's still incomplete, did that get a TIF? I don't know that personally. And then what happens if Ohio does away with property taxes? That's been pretty big buzz lately, and that's been proposed quite a bit. It's even getting some attention and proposals at the national level, too. So what happens if we do away with property taxes? How is that going to affect TIFs going forward? Other issues, too. I won't drag it out tonight, and I'll be respectful of your time. But again, I would say, especially if we have questions about the future of property taxes, if we're not prepared to answer those what-if questions, I would say, and again, I don't think we should be doing residential TIFs to begin with. I would say we should not be approving this. Or at a minimum, until we can better answer those what-if questions, at a minimum, I would say we at least table it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And the last name I have on the list is John Bills. Oh. Okay, so I went through the list of everyone who signed in. Is there anyone that needs to come up and speak that I didn't call? If you do, this is last call for that. Okay, hearing no one, we're going to move on the agenda. Thank you. Thanks all for your comments. And the next item on our agenda is old business. And we have, looks like we have three ordinances on old business. Will you read the first ordinance, please?
Ordinance O07-2509. An ordinance adopting, rejecting, or modifying the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve the final development plan of DDC Management LLC with specified conditions submitted for property located near the intersection of Westbrook Road and Union Road and bearing parcel ID number M60-03207-0023, comprised of 37.098 acres within the city of Clayton, Ohio.
I'll motion to untable.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion to untable this ordinance by Mr. Farmer, second by Mr. Merkel. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, and we have a roll call, please.
Farmer?
Yes.
Henning? Gorman?
Yes.
Merkel?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Bachman?
Abstain.
And Stevens.
Yes. So we have 6 yeses and 1 abstention. Any questions or comments or conversation concerning this, or is there a motion?
I just, I wanted to ask Mr. Bills if I could, if you want to take. We had the siders up talking about the additional foliage, some kind of natural barrier to provide along there. Is that something that could be incorporated?
I haven't looked at it in, as far as what the growth is in there, and if it really is honeysuckle that's on the neighboring properties, my guess is the honeysuckle will be back within a year as fast as it grows. But I did want to just state, we heard everybody again, including the residents, after our last meeting, and I believe you probably have it in the packet already, but for anybody that's not aware, maybe didn't catch word, I wanted to just bring up that once again, we heard loud and clear. We did go back. My associate Ross worked with our engineer, with Arbor Homes, and really hard to try to make that buffer even bigger. And we were able to get it up to 30 feet and still suffice with the lot and be able to make the engineering work for Arbor so it matches what was in the previous section. I can't speak for this one lot and the visibility of it compared to the others and would need to look at it. My hope would be with 30 foot, if it really is a good tree buffer, that it would fill in quickly on it.
Well, I would appreciate you looking into that.
Absolutely.
Because of their position, and there's not a house there blocking the cul-de-sac from the back of their yard. I think that would enhance some safety and security for not just them, but also the new property owners.
And right at the end, like I have no issue, we will be planting trees throughout, putting like a couple pine trees, like at the end of that cul-de-sac, something, just outside of the easement, maybe within the preservation or something like to block headlights and to block, just kind of discourage that there at the end. But I just haven't seen it lately to know exactly what it looks like.
All right, thank you.
Since I visited the property, and I think that you have accommodated their needs as well, but I think it's all about the visibility of the buffer.
Yep.
So continued support with the residents would be much appreciated. And
Absolutely.
that you now say that you have your word that you will work with them.
Yes,
It's
we will.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
On the end of the cul-de-sac there.
I'll move to adopt the resolution.
Mayor.
I just have a question before. The modification was done as far as the preservation zone made 30 foot. The language description that you forwarded everybody, does that need to be included as a modification?
That's what I was about to say. So
Okay.
what I would suggest is that if you wish to incorporate this tree line preservation language, the way I would do that is it would be an ordinance adopting and modifying. And what I would do is in paragraph 1 of this ordinance, at the end of that, actually, I'll just read it. It says that the council hereby, I would suggest, adopts and modifies the Planning Commission's recommendation for approval of the final development plan with specified conditions of the subject property and with the following additional tree preservation condition being as follows. 30-foot tree line preservation area condition. Property owner and DDC Management LLC shall create via final record plat, which will be executed and recorded with the Office of the Montgomery County Recorder, a 30-foot preservation easement to perpetually preserve an existing tree line located at the northeast corner of the subject property as identified on the attached Exhibit A. Prior to recording, copies of the aforesaid final record plat shall be provided to the City of Clayton for review. Language shall be included to define this preservation easement's purpose to include no mass clearing, modification, or change in use within the 30-foot preservation easement without the prior written consent of the City of Clayton. Notwithstanding the foregoing, trees and vegetation located within the 30-foot preservation easement which constitute a bona fide hazard may be trimmed or removed as necessary to address the hazard.
Make a motion to approve what Martina just said.
Second.
One other, I just want to make sure that we are only addressing Hunter's Path Phase 3 only. This does not include 4. Okay,
That's
just wanted to
what it
make sure.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the line.
Okay, Mr. Gorman's made the motion to adopt the modified version that Martina just read of the ordinance. Is there a second?
I second it.
It's been properly motioned and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Abstain.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Farmer,
Yes.
Henning.
No.
Gorman,
Yes.
Merkel,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Bachman,
Abstain.
and Stevens.
Yes. So that's, yeah, 5-1-1, yes. Okay, the ordinance passes. Thank you. And we have the next ordinance, please.
Ordinance O07-2510, an ordinance rejecting the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve the application of Shanghai Enterprises for a change in zoning from residential single-unit RSD to Planned Development District PDD, and to approve the preliminary subdivision plan with specified conditions submitted for property located near the intersection of Westbrook Road and Taywood Road and bearing parcel ID number M601-03209-0025, comprised of 30.4242 acres within the city of Clayton, Ohio.
Move to approve the ordinance as written.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance as written by Mr. Merkel, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Farmer,
Yes.
Henning,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Merkel,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Bachman,
No.
and Stevens.
Yes. So that ordinance does pass as written, 6-1. And will you read the third ordinance, please?
Ordinance number O07-2512, an ordinance repealing ordinance number O01-2502, which adopted the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve with specified conditions the application of SDG Warner Village LLC for a change in zoning from residential single-unit district RSD to Planned Development District PDD, and to further approve the preliminary development plan for 183.1044 acres of property located near the intersection of Sweet Potato Ridge Road and Main Street, bearing parcel ID number M60-03-010-0001 within the city of Clayton, Ohio.
Before we vote, Martine, I want to make sure, because I think this is one of those double negative votes. I just want to make sure that we all understand what yes means and what no means.
Yes means you're voting to repeal.
Mr. Merkel, you look like you have something to say.
No, I was just saying, I was going to move to approve the ordinance as written.
Is there a
Second.
Second by Mr. Bachman. The ordinance, the motion was made to approve as written by Mr. Merkel, second by Mr. Bachman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Farmer,
Yes.
Henning,
No.
Gorman,
Yes.
Merkel,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Bachman,
Yes.
and Stevens.
Yes. Okay, so that ordinance is repealed, 6-1. Okay, we have a lot of ordinances now and resolutions that we're going to go through, so please be patient. Some of these, actually most of these are kind of, I don't know, business as usual for the council, so generally there's not too much questions on some of them, most of them anyway. So we can go ahead with that. Go with the ordinances, please.
Ordinance 008-2513, an ordinance adopting estimated assessments and certifying unpaid charges for 2025-2026 curb and gutter repair replacement work to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes in 5 annual installments.
I'm sorry, I do have a question on this. Do these need to be emergencies?
No,
Are we-
we'll
are
have
we
a
good?
second reading, and
Okay.
then it can be emergency.
Okay.
We're also with the curb and gutters, the mowings, and the nuisance assessments, we're still taking collections if people still want to make them before we take them down to the county.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance as written. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Ordinance 008-2514, an ordinance adopting estimated assessments and certifying unpaid charges for 2025-2026 curb and gutter repair replacement work to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes. This is 10 annual installments.
For approval.
Second.
Motion to approve is written by Mr. Henning, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that is approved unanimously.
Ordinance 008-2515, an ordinance certifying charges for grass weed cutting for 2025-2026 to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes.
For approval.
Second.
Motion to approve as written by Mr. Henning, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Will you read the next ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2516, an ordinance to maintain lighting assessments.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve as written by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that's unanimous. Will you read the next ordinance?
Ordinance 008-2517, an ordinance authorizing the submission of the 2025-2026 North Clayton Community Authority charge assessments to the Montgomery County Auditor.
I'll move for approval.
Kevin, are these for basically Windsor properties at North
The
Clayton?
majority is the Windsor companies, yes.
Motion to approve by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that's unanimous. Will you read the next ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2518, an ordinance certifying unpaid charges for nuisance assessments for 2025-2026 to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Merkel. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that's unanimous. Will you read the next ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2519, an ordinance to impose assessments upon owners of real property in arrears for payment of fees for waste hauling and disposal services for 2025-2026.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve is written by Mr. Henning, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that's unanimous.
Ordinance
Sorry, will you read the next ordinance?
Ordinance 008-2520, an ordinance approving amendments to the city's Personnel Practices Manual as delineated in the appended Exhibit A.
I would make an amendment on this if anybody would be interested. I'll go ahead and do it, and we'll see where it goes. But for Section M, which is jury witness duty and poll worker, on here it states employees may be granted paid leave to perform poll worker duties subject to approval by their director on a case-by-case basis. Employees who wish to retain their poll worker pay, which is about $130 a day for working 13-plus hours, may use their accrued leave time to cover the absence. Montgomery County and other neighboring counties, quite a few, I don't know of any that makes employees use their accrued time off. So my amendment would be that you can work at the polls on election day. It's 1 or 2 days a year, and then keep that money as civic service for your community. So I would move to amend Section M to allow employees to keep their pay from being a poll worker and not use their accrued leave time to cover the absence.
We were
Anybody
just-
have any feedback on that?
Yeah, we were just trying to remain consistent with the jury duty. We do have an employee who actually is a higher up during those days, so she actually may make more than what she would working here. So it's not necessarily just a poll worker making that $130. So we were just looking at all those cases and just trying to stay comparable to what jury duty is. But that is, that is up to you all. Because I know nobody's going to make, I don't know if somebody then would come back with jury duty if they get called in for, multiple days or things like that, if they would. It's up to you all. It doesn't, Amanda, did you have a thought on that?
I would agree with you. It was to stay consistent with our jury duty policy. We did send it out to all of the department directors, and staff had a chance to review, and no one had issue.
I'll move for approval.
As amended, or because
As
there's a-
amended.
Okay,
Well, we'd have to approve, I made a motion to amend.
so we need a second to the motion to amend and then a vote, please.
Is there a second on amending the personnel manual?
I'll second.
Okay, so it's been properly motioned by Mr. Henning, second by Mr. Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Can we have a roll call, please?
Farmer,
Yes.
Henning,
Yes.
Gorman,
No.
Merkel,
Yes.
Kelly? Yes. Bachman
No.
and Stevens.
No. So the ordinance is amended 4-3?
You approve the amendment, now you need to vote on the amended.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the amended ordinance by Mr. Henning, second by Mr. Farmer. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The amendment is adopted. Let's see, will you read the next ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2521, an ordinance amending Part 13, Building Code, Title I, Property Maintenance Code of the Clayton Codified Ordinances.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that's unanimous. Let's see, and will you read the next ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2522, an ordinance to repeal ordinance number 004-1808, adopted May 3rd, 2018, which approved and adopted a comprehensive land use plan entitled Plan Clayton and referral to Planning Commission.
I move to reject the motion.
Second.
Motion to reject the ordinance by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly.
I just want to.
Sure.
I just want to add, while I will agree with you that we should not be voting down such a foundational document to our city, I do think it has its flaws and needs review and revision. Removing that would cause problems with our other documents, our coding, our zoning code, as well as our future land use plan. They're all sort of interwoven. It becomes quite a mess when you start looking at it all together. So I do hope in the future we'll have a chance to review and revise Plan Clayton. That's all.
No, it's probably not proper that we move to reject?
Right, that's what I was about ready to say, because the way the ordinance is written is it's an ordinance to repeal the prior ordinance. So if you vote yes, you're voting to repeal the prior ordinance. If you vote no, you're voting to not repeal the prior ordinance. You can just withdraw it. Withdraw it,
Withdraw my motion.
and then we can just vote on it as it's written.
Yeah, we still need a motion. Yeah, we need a motion and a second to vote. Is there a motion?
I would move to approve.
Is there a second to approve the ordinance as written?
So then I'll withdraw my motion and then do what Martina just said. Somebody has to do it. It's not going to be me.
I just move to reject. Is that what I do?
Yeah, you can move to reject
I move to reject the motion.
the ordinance.
The ordinance, excuse me.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's a second to repeal, or to reject, yes.
I'm sorry. This just seems repetitive here, of things of,
It's already rejected by lack of a second. So it did not pass, let me rephrase that, did not pass because of a lack of a second. And then Mr. Gorman made a motion to reject. Now, if you have a second, you can take a second vote to reject, but for all intents and purposes, the first vote took care of that.
Okay, so it's rejected.
Withdraw my motion again then.
So it's rejected.
I just probably, because it seemed like we'd never done that before, of almost double voting on something,
So
so.
it's rejected. Okay. And will you read the, believe it or not, the final ordinance for tonight?
Ordinance 008-25-23, an ordinance authorizing the following connection with the Hunter's Path Phase 3 residential development. A, delineating an overlay in relation to the proposed Hunter's Path incentive districts number 3, 4, and 5. B, adopting a written economic development plan as to same. And C, authorizing a tax increment financing agreement with respect to certain real property located in the city of Clayton and providing related authorizations pursuant to Ohio Revised Code sections 5709.40C, 5709.42, 5709.43, 5709.832, and 5709.85, and declaring an emergency.
Could, Mr. Schweitzer, would you mind, I was, you being the expert in this, would you mind, speaking on this particular one, especially the TIF?
What questions did you have?
Just about that, any of those, who's getting whole exactly, like with the schools, what we're getting for services, things like that?
When we say the schools are being made whole, basically there's a formula we have to go through with the values of the properties in the school district times the effective rate of the property taxes. And from the top of the TIF monies we receive, they are paid to the Northmont schools, and we have to pay it to the CTC as well. So they are made whole. They don't lose their share. Now, we do pick up, property taxes from that Montgomery County would be collecting, the library, those others, into the TIF district. I know the gentleman talked earlier as far as what happens with property taxes. The sole source of revenue to do any repayment of these infrastructure items would be just the TIF receipts. So if they don't bring in enough after the term's over, then they're done. We only have an allowed amount we pay them. If we collect more, that would stay in the TIF fund until that term expires, and then it would be transferred to the general fund at the end. So if property taxes disappeared, then the revenue source for the TIF is gone. There's no obligation to the city to make payments using income tax or anything like that. What else other questions did you have?
That really was it.
Okay.
I got a couple for you. What a surprise, huh? I did want to ask you that with the initial infrastructure build, and if there are no payments in lieu of taxes into this TIF fund, how does that initial payment get made?
We don't pay until we get monies. So like the Grand Traditions, we just had the first payment this year because we have to wait till we collect the monies. We don't upfront it. And like I said, there's an exhibit in there saying here's the maximum for each type of infrastructure putting in, and that's what we reimburse them on. They have to submit actual invoices. I got big binders full of information, so and I go through and make sure that those payments have been made. But we do not upfront it. We wait till we get the money. So as soon as we get it, we pay it out to schools, then pay it to them what's left. But that's all we do.
How does this fit in with, oh gosh. So I don't like calling it a TIF. It's really a property tax redirect fund. But
you're using the property taxes within that district, yes.
So, but who ultimately will be paying into that fund? Is it the property owners?
Yeah, the property owners will be paying the same taxes, basically. It's the same tax rates, not an increase in property taxes. It's just they're paying their property taxes, but it's utilized for that area only for the infrastructure repayments and paying to the schools, but yeah, is on the property owners within that district.
So that's all the property tax that they would normally pay out elsewhere. So,
Yes.
so these owners won't be paying any property tax toward the police and fire property tax, is that right?
They'll still be paying the police and fire. It's in there, so. But then being part of the TIF, it is not paid out to the police or fire funds. It is utilized for that area, so.
I'll move for approval.
I got more questions.
You go ahead.
Actually, some questions for Mr. Bills, if you don't mind. All right, just, you know, Hunter's Path Phase 1 and 2, what a big success that's been. Basically filled out looked like 125 homes in 2 years. And we've got a great community here in Clayton, got a great school system in Northmont. As Mr. Bias had mentioned, we've got a lot of developers like yourself coming here. So I do have to ask the question, if you don't get this TIF, will you still be building?
The short answer is no, and I can walk through a little bit of the economics. I wanted, and maybe I also wanted to address a couple of the points that was made during the citizens' comments section. And part of this was addressed by Kevin, who knows this all very well. A couple of the points, I think he covered at least one of them, which was, you know, what happens if there's not the revenue coming in order to make the payments, the bond payments and that. In the case of this, there's no obligation to the city. At no point would the city have to pay that. There will be minimum service payments put in place on the property until a homeowner or until it's sold to a builder, we'll own that. And so after a certain amount of time, say a home wasn't built, basically there would be a minimum payment that got put on that property that we would have to pay that real estate tax in order to pay the bondholders back. The way it's documented, the way it was in Phase 1 and 2, at no point is the city at risk of having to redirect general funds or any funds from another area to pay back for this TIF. The second question about if the state, one of the other points of if the state went away with property tax, that would in effect eliminate future TIFs, and I can't speak for TIFs in other areas and how they were structured, but for Phase 1 and 2 and how this would be structured in the same manner, that minimum service payment is what would go into effect. So maybe every other resident would have their property taxes removed, but they would still have a minimum service payment here that would have to be made for the period of that TIF, and then when it rolled off, theirs would go away also. But in this case, even if property taxes went away, there would still be minimum service payments that would become due. So I wanted at least to put at ease that the city would not ever have to redirect funds to pay for it in that. The other, sometimes the belief with a TIF, and again, I can't speak for other developers, I can only speak for Phase 1 and 2 and what we're proposing to do here. The actual cost that we will sell the lots for is less than what the cost is to build the infrastructure in the subdivision. You know, our estimates of what the costs are in Phase 1, if you broke it down and there hadn't been a TIF on it, we would have been selling it for, I looked at the numbers today, it was like $1,000 to $2,000 more than what the cost went to build that subdivision. So ultimately, the savings is going to the homeowner. It allows the builder to provide a more affordable house that allows them to reach a broader basin. If that had not been a TIF on Phase 1 and 2, if we could have moved forward with it, we would have had to increase the price because we do this for a profit. You know, there are investors. We would have had to raise the lot price by, I'll make up a number, $20,000 would be a typical markup on a lot that didn't have that ultimately would get passed on to the homeowner. That seems like a simple answer. That's where it should go to. And in an ideal world, that is what happens. But what that can lead to if the market doesn't support it. At the end of the day, you know, they're selling houses. The average sale price in Phases 1 and 2 was, I think, $325,000, around that, give or take a couple thousand, was the average sale price. if you had raised that by 20 or 30,000 by the time that cost got put in there, you could be sitting with a subdivision that failed again, one that didn't sell, that the price point wasn't there. And the whole point we do this a lot as far as building subdivisions. We're very diligent in knowing our costs, what it is, what the market says people can pay for a home within that market, and what we want to do. In order to ensure success, without a TIF, we can't build and sell at a loss. It's just not viable to move forward with the project.
Well, I will note, I sort of ran some numbers myself on a house that's $350K, 6 to 7% interest, 30-year loan. Given a $10,000 to $20,000 break, you're probably knocking about 5% off of the monthly mortgage payment. So I don't know how big of a benefit it's a benefit for the property owners, but I don't know if it's worth it for the city to take on your infrastructure risk for that. So that's sort of the way I'm looking at it. I don't mean to get in the weeds, but that's how I ended up looking at it. I did want to ask you about the potential infrastructure improvements. One was listed commercial parking facility. I haven't seen that in any of your plans. I just want to make sure that that's not something.
There's
It's listed in the TIF agreement under potential infrastructure improvements. I just wanted to make sure that
there's no commercial parking lot, anything. It's all
Okay.
residential, just like phase 1 and 2. I'd have to look at that
All right, it's
specific
just that-
language, but there's no commercial
it listed all
component.
kinds of potential things. It's like, well, this is very curious.
And that maybe is just part of the general, language of what's acceptable, but no. This goes to help pay for again, getting into the numbers, the estimated cost to build the subdivision's around $8 million. It's like $8.1 million, just under. The only parts that can be reimbursed, and the TIF doesn't generate even, it would be about a quarter of that is what the math comes to, but it would go towards, again, we have more costs that could go in than it could ever pay for, but it would help pay for the roadways, for the storm pipes, public infrastructure that's going into the project.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have one more comment or question. So this is really easy because, I don't pretend to be an expert on these TIFs. I wish we didn't have those also, to be honest with you, but do any developers build anything without a TIF? Do you know that?
I'm going to say yes. There are markets that if it all comes down to, as a developer, it comes down to cost, and ultimately a builder does their analysis of, hey, what price point do we have to hit in that market to be able to sell homes? And they back into their house cost. They then back into, here's the max we can pay for a lot, and still be able to have a successful project and move forward with it. It is very hard. I would say in the state of Ohio, I am currently, I got to think about this a little bit, I'm probably developing 8 or 9 projects, and I think I have 2 that don't have a TIF on them right now. And it is, if you're pick an area that maybe you're selling $500,000, $600,000 homes where they are able to pay more for the lot and still make it work, we're able to do that. But when we are trying to hit a price point, there is new businesses coming into the area. It's a growing market. It is good. But we are reaching out to people that are in that, usually 2 working households that are making, call it 100 to 120,000 combined household income, hopefully a little bit more, but to hit the price point, that's, if Arbor could sell them for more, they would sell the homes for more. That's the reality. If the market supported it, it's just the reality of what the market is here today. The one benefit, while I completely understand your point, I wish the project didn't need it. It's much easier for me if I could do a project without a TIF. It's definitely not done because we want to do it. The one benefit that does come with it, I touched on there, while the city, they get made whole on what the current taxes are. So no current taxes that the city's making. Kevin hit on that. No current taxes that the school's getting gets taken away. That will always go there. The one benefit to it, there's 97 homes proposed here. There was 125 in the last. I don't know the average incomes. I can't get that data for different reasons of who lives there. But if you assume they're 100,000 probably combined, I'm going to say that's low in combined income, but they do still pay city income tax. You know, it's bringing in, 100,000 plus per home that comes in that is able to pay in the 1.5%, I believe it is in Clayton, but the city tax or the income tax that is coming in to help fund other stuff within the city, whatever that income tax goes towards. So there is still additional revenue being generated while there is still, I understand, the shortfall.
I'll move for approval of the ordinance.
Well, I would like to make one point of clarification. One, this does not approve the TIF ordinance. There will be subsequent legislation that will do that. This delineates the area that the TIF is going to potentially be in. There are notices that are required for us to give to the schools and to the CTC before we can ever bring a TIF ordinance before council. So the attached TIF ordinance is just for example, for you guys to see it before that would happen.
And I was asked earlier, sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to speak again. You had asked me earlier, or I believe one of you did earlier, if I planned to bring a TIF. I wanted to be upfront. I know we're here approving this other document. I wanted to share it and be open about the finances and the need for this, because without it, the other approvals really don't mean much for me. So I wanted to be upfront with everybody.
We appreciate that.
Once again, I'll move for approval of the ordinance.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify, Amanda, what we got here in the book is not the actual agreement.
Correct. It is not the actual agreement. There will be subsequent legislation that brings the actual TIF agreement to council.
Does that include this economic development plan? Will that be different, or will that
No,
be
the
the same?
economic development plan will remain the same.
Okay,
The
'cause-
economic development plan is required to just delineate the area.
So what I'm reading here is what will be the same thing used for phase 3?
Yes. it's
Okay.
the same thing.
Because I did have the assessment in it. When I read it, I walked away saying, what makes this special? Because all those benefits we would get without a TIF anyway. So the only thing that was different was the reference to a 61-acre plot, which all I can conclude is on the other side of Phase 1 across Union Road. So I guess I need some insight on how this was supposed to be community-wide benefit with this assessment.
That is just future economic development benefit to have the additional residents there and then to have the water lines and sewer lines closer to that larger lot.
I'm just going to read a few points here just for the record after I read all this, that I have to agree with Mr. Bias. This is just a subsidy with that supporting the developer. Residents are going to make payments in lieu of taxes, as Mr. Schweitzer described, and they will go to the infrastructure improvements within that TIF district. So I just want to, and this TIF is supposed to go for 30 years, and if we do have a TIF in the village of North Clayton, and Mr. Schweitzer, I'm guessing there's probably around $800,000 sitting there. You don't have to give me the exact number, but the last time I checked with you, something like that. So good guess on my part. And that's the accumulation of over time, and there are 28 houses in that TIF. Now imagine 125. So in Hunter's Path, in 30 years, I think you're going to hit 7 digits at some point. Because, and I did ask Mr. Schweitzer, is there a way to terminate a TIF early? And there's nothing written, and Martina, you can check me on that. We could not find anything that would allow the 30 years to be cut off. So what I want to just pass on is that if council must pass this subsidy, that you would amend this agreement to be a 10-year TIF with no school impacts, include termination conditions, remove public parking facilities from the infrastructure improvements, and label the TIF as residential in any databases where it sits. And I'll just leave it all at that.
Any other questions or comments on the TIFs?
Okay to make a motion now?
It is.
I move for approval.
Mr. Gorman, I'm sorry.
I'll let you make it, Martina.
It's written as an emergency?
I'll move for an emergency.
Second.
Motion to make this issue an emergency by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
We have a roll call, please.
Farmer,
No.
Henning,
No.
Gorman,
Yes.
Merkel,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Bachman,
Yes.
and Stevens.
Yes.
Can I just ask one question? Why does this need to be an emergency?
So that we can make the proper notices to the schools, and then, so we can bring the legislation to council for the TIF agreement.
Can I make a motion on the ordinance now? I move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance has properly been made by Ms. Gorman, second by Mr. Merkel. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Farmer,
No.
Henning,
No.
Gorman,
Yes.
Merkel,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Bachman,
Yes.
and Stevens.
Yes. Okay, that passes 5-2. 5-2. Okay, that was it for the ordinances, and now we have a little bit shorter list of resolutions. Will you read the first resolution, please?
Resolution R 08-2561, a resolution establishing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance of applications and issuance of zoning permits and approvals for any new residential housing developments within the city of Clayton, Ohio.
I move for approval.
There's been a motion by Mr. Henning to approve the resolution as written. Is there a second? And not hearing a second.
Mr. Mayor, could I offer up an alternative to this one, if I may? I understand, I talked with Mr. Henning, I understand where he's coming from, and I understand, residents want to be listened to and wants to take action appropriately. But before we would do something like a moratorium, I'd like to offer a compromise that might be a more appropriate solution. Planning Commissioner member Derek Muncy addressed this council, and one thing he mentioned was a suggestion that was made to possibly restore some of the residential zoning districts that were eliminated. He said we need to figure out how we can begin to resolve the situation so we aren't having a referendum every 6 months. I think this would be a good first step in that direction. So instead of halting everything, can we ask Planning Commission to review and consider restoring those districts? That would be a constructive step forward that balances growth with community needs. So could we ask the Planning Commission as a council to review that and see what they have to say?
Make a motion for that?
I make a motion for that, whatever. How do I word
Let's
that?
go back to Mr. Henning's motion first, then we'll go to yours.
So I would move to amend Resolution R8-2561 to what Councilman Farmer just said. In regards to what the planning committee member stated with restoring residential zoning districts.
Are we able to do that here, since it's pretty much a different thing? It's a moratorium and then just a committee review?
What I would suggest is you can make a motion to refer it to the Planning Commission, which is, I believe, what Mr. Farmer did. Have a second for that, and then a vote, and if you get 4 votes, it would be referred to the Planning Commission for them to review that and then report back to council. That would be my suggestion.
But that would be separate from the, I mean,
Separate from-
from this particular
From amending the
resolution.
resolution, if Mr. Henning wants to withdraw his motion with that regard.
So I withdraw and amend to what Martina just stated.
So then, as I understand it, what we have is a motion by Mr. Farmer to refer the matter to the Planning Commission, which I, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to give the Planning Commission the authority to consider the restoration of residential zoning districts. And so that's his motion, to send it to the Planning Commission to consider that and make a recommendation back to council. That would need a second, and then a vote of 4 to approve.
When does the planning commission meet, Martina?
Ellen, when is their, August 25th? But we would have to advertise it, so it would probably be the September meeting.
Well, that almost covers the time that we want it, that they want to close it for.
Well, I mean, the timeline of it, I mean, what's that matter? You know, saying if they're doing it in September and then, it comes to council in October, is what it is.
We're holding these fellows up, though.
It has nothing to do with
That doesn't
No,
affect
no,
DDC.
yeah,
no.
because we're not putting a moratorium, or
No.
we're not, yeah, it doesn't affect it. how would that affect, that wouldn't affect any, well, what we're referring to the planning commission is just a review of of things going forward, so
Yeah, just for going forward, this isn't affecting anything.
I'm not saying that's what I'm doing here, yeah. Well, we're, so regarding resolution R08-2561, I mean, from what it sounds like, if we have no second, then that's basically dead. I believe what we're discussing here is what Councilman Farmer is discussing of having the planning commission review the, that rural conservation district. So it's really something completely different.
Restoration of residential zoning districts, yes.
So I second Mr. Farmer's motion.
So the motion has been made by Mr. Farmer, second by Mr. Henning, to amend or to send back to.
To make a
planning-
referral to the Planning Commission to consider the restoration of residential zoning districts and make a report back to council on that. That's the
Okay,
motion.
okay.
That has
It's been
seconded.
properly motioned and seconded. We have all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So that passes unanimously. I have to say, my own idea on this. I'll go along with that. I actually feel like we should constantly be looking at our documents in the city, and I feel like sometimes when these come up, I'm not saying this in particular, but sometimes I think they're knee-jerk, and all of a sudden, we see something and we have to fix it right away. I think this is something that we should be doing all the time, looking at these things. And if there's something wrong or something that needs to be addressed, then we're not pushed at the last minute to try to try to get an answer from everyone. So, just my thoughts. Sorry. Okay, will you read the second resolution, please?
Resolution R08-2562, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a renewal agreement relative to body-worn cameras for use by the Clayton Police Department with Utility Associates, Inc., for a term of 5 years at a total cost of $217,780.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
It does say what it says, but staff requests City Council to authorize the city manager to enter into a renewal for a 5-year contract with utility body-worn cameras, provide body-worn cameras for Clayton police officers. Includes 7 in-car camera systems that will upgrade our current obsolete in-car cameras, and includes all necessary software and training.
I want to make a comment on this also. I think this has been one of the best things that we've done. I think the officers believe this because it does protect the residents, from maybe a, unscrupulous officer, but it also protects our officers, from the unscrupulous folks that they have to deal with sometimes. So it's definitely a win-win, and I think it's been the best investment we've made in our police force.
I have full faith we don't have any of that here, and I'm doing this for you guys and girls that are on the force. So I made a second to Mr. Gorman's motion. Thank you.
Motion to accept the resolution as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that passed unanimously. Will you read the next resolution, please?
Resolution R08-2563, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Northmont School District for the provision of school resource officer for the 2025-2026 school year.
Move for approval.
Second.
Quick question. Mr. Question here. I just want to make sure when the officer is employed at the school, is Northmont paying his salary?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to approve as written, I think, was Mr. Henning. Second, Ms. Kelly, is that right? Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the resolution pass unanimously. Will you read the next resolution, please?
Resolution R 082564, a resolution approving the city manager's designation of qualified administrative officers of the city to perform the powers, duties, and functions of the city manager during the city manager's temporary absence from the city or during disability.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the resolution by Mr. Henning, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that's unanimous. Will you read the next resolution, please?
Resolution R 082565, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into agreements, including easements and deeds, with Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley to obtain rights-of-way and permanent and/or temporary easements for the MOT Hoke Road Widening Phase 1 project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the resolution as written by Mr. Henning, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that's unanimous. Will you read the next resolution, please?
Resolution R 082566, a resolution to declare surplus equipment available for disposal through sale or auction.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the resolution as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. And will you read the last, final resolution for the night?
Resolution R 082567, a resolution approving amendment of 2025 appropriations and estimated resources.
Move for approval.
Second.
The motion has been made by Mr. Gorman to accept the resolution as written and seconded by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that's unanimous also. And that's it for resolutions and ordinances for tonight. And we'll move to the next item, which is our city manager's report.
Good
Amanda?
evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple items for you this evening. First, the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners will have their meeting here on September 16th, 2025, beginning at 6 p.m. So if anybody would like to attend and they don't want to drive downtown, they can come here, excuse me, for that meeting. Sorry. Just as a reminder, Northwood Estates LLC has submitted an application for preliminary and final subdivision plan for Section 1 subdivision. The application can be found on our city's website. The case was first heard in '22, and there are links to the Planning Commission and council meetings on the city's website as well. And also, if you look at the email that I sent out last Friday. And then also the issue with the parcels in the Old Village. Council asked that I look at dates that a work session could be held when the council agenda isn't so heavy. We have the September 18th and October 2nd meetings, so either one of those would be acceptable. If council is fine with either one of those, we'll schedule it and get notices out to residents. All right. And that's all I have for you this evening.
Any questions or comments for the city manager?
I had a question that's regarding the new facility being built at 49 in Union, the Dollar General. Had some people ask me about some things about that recently. And I look back, there was nothing that I recall, and then I look back that came to Planning Commission or council, regarding that, the build of that.
You are correct. So that project was able to be approved administratively because of the zoning code and the way the zoning code was laid out. The zoning that's there allowed for small retail, and that's what that is.
Okay. And is there any other Dollar General they're looking at to come into the area?
To build in the city of Clayton, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Thank you.
Brenda, I will add, they also did come to the Board of Zoning Appeals so that they could move their parking space.
That is true.
That-
You
yeah,
are
the-
correct. There was a
yeah.
Board of Zoning Appeals, meeting for loading in the parking lot.
Any other questions or comments for our city manager? Nope, okay. So we'll move to the council and mayor's comments. We'll start with Mr. Farmer.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thanks for sticking it out tonight. Come on out for the Labor Day festivities that we got over at Meadowbrook. It should be a good time. The vote on the referendum, and as I think I said the last meeting, I respect all of you guys that got out there and got signatures, but in the end, I think the remedy for the referendum was a repeal, and if it's offered to you, you take it. And so that is why I voted the way I did. I will say, though, the way we have flip-flopped on that one, maybe the voters should vote on it. But, I'll stand by my vote and my reasons why. And just want to wish all of you a happy Labor Day, whether you come to the festivities or not. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Henning?
I wanted to welcome the new officers, Casey to the team, and Casey to the team. Once again, congratulations to Joe on hitting 5 years. For the police officers, we do pray for your safety, and our community appreciates you. I think the body camera legislation tonight to update that and the cruiser cams shows that we are unanimously in support of always having your backs. We have a house on Rushley that has continued to not follow the code in regards to a very large hole in the roof. Quite a few neighbors have come to me. I know that the last court case was closed with them being assessed a fine, and I really wish that the homeowner would do something about that, because I know that it's now back in Daryl's docket of reporting it and playing the game because the homeowner isn't correcting the problem. The raccoons and other animals are going in and out of the house, and it's a big eyesore for that entire neighborhood. In regards to Bella Sorella, saw in the news recently that they're getting closer to opening. Love to see the progress that they've been posting on social media, and they had a great article in the newspaper too. I did fully support tonight the moratorium on new housing developments. We'll see how the votes go moving forward, but I would rather personally not waste the time of entertaining housing developments if they're not going to be passed by us ultimately. So we'll see what happens with that. In regards to the amendment of the building codes, thank you to Martina for working on that. I know that you worked with Centerville, I believe, to get that done, and it's something that it's an improvement that was needed. And then I did want to say, I do question someone that is running for mayor using the word keep before their name on social media as if they are on city council. I think residents should be concerned about that also. It is pretty misleading for an individual to say keep when they're not on council, but maybe it goes back to the mayor saying earlier, Facebook is just a fantasy world, and clearly that candidate's living in fantasy world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gorman?
Yeah, I'd just like to welcome the police officers and thank Mr. Bachman for 50 years. And I hope he's able to do 50 more on his own, maybe not for the city, but for himself. And I'd like to welcome our new manager at Meadowbrook, and I wish her all the luck in the world because we're going to need it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Mr.
Well, I won't repeat what everyone's already said. Tim and I were at the ribbon cutting for Stillwater Hospital's care facilities residents for their interactive playground area in the back of the facility. New addition for the persons that are resident persons there, and an interactive type arrangement for the persons that are basically permanent residents, and the type of things that people don't rarely ever see. So it was a nice addition. The county representatives were there. Fully interactive playground equipment for these people, and it was good to see something go in for the persons at Stillwater. So that's all.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Kelly? Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Bachman?
Evening, everyone. I'll start off, again, recognize, everyone who was recognized tonight. Joe Bachman, we are not related. And then obviously, Cassie, met Cassie right when she started, when I was there for the Chamber Golf outing, where we, again, got last place. Just want to still put that out there of how horrible I am at golf. But yeah, she, at that time, very energetic, just hit the ground running. It sounds like, Elaine spoke very highly of her right when she started and obviously living up to it. So that's fantastic. Our new officers, Bishop and Stringer, actually, Officer Stringer was with Sergeant Schutte over the weekend, dealing with a crash right near my house, and they were managing traffic, just as well as all of our police do. Want to thank, to counter Earl's slam on our neighbors earlier, would like to thank our neighbors over in the city of Inglewood, their festival over the prior weekend, send out an invite to us to participate in the parade. Always a great time, great time to see the community, always a successful event for them. Yeah, I'll echo what's said about Labor Day. It's great now that this year we've got the events, all the community events back, and that's kind of, I refer to as our Super Bowl, the one big one that a lot of people come out at. And we see, so many people in the city, the police, fire, managing everything, and everyone having a great time. So looking forward to that in a couple weeks. No school's back in session, so, best of luck to, especially, mainly the students on that, student athletes coming up. I know the first football game's tomorrow, so, best of luck to the new head football coach, Ben Ruley. Also, best of luck to the recent grads of Northmont, starting up college. I saw that Chief Hamlin was moving in his daughter to that school that the kids who can't get in Toledo go to. Please call him and tell him I said that. By the way, Toledo's an open enrollment university, so I'm just joking. But best of luck to all of them. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Just a couple things from me. I want to say also welcome to our new employees. It's really, really good that we have these people coming in, want these jobs, and Clayton is a great employer, a great place to work, so I'm real proud to have all of them on. I want to remind everybody about the Labor Day fireworks again. Please come out. It's one of those fun events. It's no pressure. You enjoy the fireworks. It's a great environment, great location for that event. So hope to see everyone there. It's going to be a great day. That's right.
Can I mention one thing, just to
yeah.
interrupt? It's
Yeah.
all free.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you think of paying things, you don't have to pay a thing. So it's all free to the community.
The last thing I just want to touch on is, it's election season, and, if you don't know who's running and who's not running, you can go on the Board of Election sites and look at that. The people that come to the meetings, we're getting more and more people coming to the meetings as people become informed. And, it's not just a passing whim that you should be informed about your own city. You should be here. And, I'm going to likely vote a certain way as everyone else is here. But I am proud to see that we have candidates. That sounds, it sounds ridiculous, but there's many times where cities our size and even larger that do not have interested candidates or qualified candidates running, and I'm proud to say that we do have that. Is it going to cause issues? Yes. It may even cause further division. I hope it doesn't do that. And if it does, over the next couple months, I'll give you that. But, after November 6th, I believe it is, 4th, after November 4th, we need to come together as a city, because this can't work. We cannot sustain our city. And although I won't be the mayor anymore, no matter what, I'm still a resident of this city, a lifelong resident, and I have a deep love for the city and deep concern right now for what's going on in our city. And I just, please, 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 vote the way you want. I respect that. I encourage that. Actually, I expect that. But after these elections, we need to come together. And until then, I just hope we can be civil, because one of the things that you get to do / have to do when you're the mayor is I go to a lot of events and I speak to a lot of other elected officials just by default of being the mayor. And we're on the radar. And I got to tell you, folks, it's not good. I mean, people are asking me what's going on up there, and you got to trust me on this. I don't throw anybody under the bus. I take my responsibility as the mayor of the city to say, hey, we've got some issues, we've got some challenges, but those can also be opportunities. And we have to make this an opportunity. It just can't divide us any further. We've got neighbors against neighbors, friends against friends, relatives against relatives, and it's just not right. It's no way to live, and it's no one wants to live in a town like that. So please be civil, be professional, and let's put on a good face. If we have to fight, we can do it behind closed doors. But let's not make the division any worse. Please, let's do what we can to bring everyone together on this. So that's all I've got. I want to say thanks for everybody coming tonight. We had a long, boring meeting for the most part. Sorry about that. But again, I want to thank our council members for the good work that they do every day, and also especially to our city staff. We have a fantastic staff. The city's in great shape. And it's due to the day-to-day work that these folks do. So appreciate that, and I appreciate all of our residents. I appreciate you all coming in. So I'm sorry. We, as a council, do have a need for an executive session tonight. So the public part is over now. If you want to hang out until we come back, you're welcome, but we'll just likely adjourn afterwards. So, yeah.
You need to stay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Matters pertaining
Yeah.
to public, employment of public employees.
Okay, for matters pertaining to public employees. So, thanks, everyone, for coming. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time around.
You have to vote to go into executive session.
Is there a motion to go into executive
So
session?
moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Merkel, second by Ms. Kelly. Is there a roll call, please?
Farmer?
Yes.
Henning?
Yes.
Gorman? Merkel?
Yes.
Kelly? Bachman?
Yes.
And Stevens?
Yes.
We're ready. I'll move for adjournment. I move we reopen the regular meeting.
Second.
We're back in public session. The motion's been properly made and made by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Merkel. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move for adjournment.
Second.
It's been properly motioned and seconded also, and we are adjourned. Thank you.